Good morning, this is Bill from Europa, Naples, and today I have this fantastic 1970 280 SL. It's of course a Roadster from Mercedes-Benz. It's dubbed internally the W113 chassis, and it is affectionately known to the world as the Pagoda. The reason it's known as the Pagoda is because of the hardtop, which of course isn't on the car at the moment. That has a sort of downward curvature tail end on it that's reminiscent of Japanese architecture, and once it got called that, the name stuck, and it's forever going to be that. This car was designed by a team of Friedrich Geiger, Paul Brock, and Bella Barani, which is a little bit like having Vincent van Gogh direct Andy Warhol and Pablo Picasso to make a painting, except they all work together nicely. Barani was an incredible engineer whose safety innovations have probably saved millions of lives. Brock designed some beautiful cars, and of course Geiger designed the 300 SL, which even at the time this thing was built was considered a milestone car, rising in value, and one of the finest designs ever made. The Pagoda, of course, follows suit, and it filled a very immediate need in the market because the 190 SL came out along the 300 SL, and while that is a fantastic looking collectible piece, it's a little bit primitive and underpowered, you know, particularly for the American market, which was screaming for more horsepower at the time. So the Pagoda became a very important replacement for that, and it really brought some innovation into the sports car realm, as well as some incredible safety features. So it had more power, it had a monocoque design, collapsible crumple zones thanks to Barani, four-wheel disc brakes, 4-speed transmission, 180 horsepower Bosch fuel injection, at least in this latter 280 SL. And of course, just gorgeous styling all around. The chrome and brightwork on this particular car is fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. If your intention is to do a full restoration, you're not going to have to do much with the chrome, which is nice because that's one of the most expensive features on the car when doing a restoration. The condition of this thing overall, it's a solid, I'd call it a solid B car. The paint is very, very old. It's got some cracking here and there. No rust anywhere on the body, which is fantastic. A little bit of rust underneath on one of the pans, but certainly within the realm of easy fix. And otherwise, it is a terrific driver. The fellow who owned this had it in his collection for the last many years. He had the engine rebuilt, which is a bit of a story we'll go into in a minute. And mechanically, it's one of the finest Pagodas I've ever driven. And it really brings out the true spirit of these cars, which is, you know, they're called sport light. Actually, the German word is very light, but it became sport light. And even though it's a fairly substantial car, driving this thing on a twisty mountain road is incredibly rewarding. The independent suspension absolutely hugs everything. The brakes are fantastic. The shifter, terrific. And it just becomes an absolute joy to drive these cars, which is one of the reasons they're so collectible today, because it's a vintage car that you can sort of hop in and comfortably drive to another state, you know, without feeling like you need to see a chiropractor. Anyway, let's start inside the trunk so you can see what's going on there. Again, the chrome and bright work on this car, fantastic. See those little bumperettes? These were just inherent to the US models to meet bumper standards. The lenses clear, nice, perfect, everything lovely. Also the amber was for the US models. Those twice pipes there coming out the back, nice tuned note to them, sound great. You see that pan's in great shape. The trunk, everything you want to see. It's got the original mat. I'm not going to pull it up because it's cracking when you pull it up, so we'll let somebody more skilled than I do that. You see the proper black paint underneath the deck lid, which is aluminum. This car uses aluminum hood, deck lid, and doors to keep the weight down. Here is the original spare tire cover on the horizontally mounted spare. That was with the 280s. You open this little patch. There's a lovely set of manuals and books with the car, the original manuals, the Becker radio kit, including the antenna key, the original tool kit still with the car. Very, very nice to see, and all neatly tucked in that package. This fella also kept it covered inside his garage, my kind of guy. and everything nice and proper there. Also the original and proper stickers where they should be, with a little bit of a car show thing that he put up there. Hood is, trunk is so light. All right, we'll have a look under the hood. So most Mercedes of this vintage were named for their engine size, and this thing was no exception. The 280 SL is powered by this 2.8 liter inline six. I think it's an M60, but don't hold me to it engine. It was new to this car. It put out tons of horsepower. They really bored it out to make it powerful, so much so they didn't have oil channels around the pistons. They had to use a separate oil cooler. You know, Mercedes has invented some great stuff, including the spark plug, and along with this car, it got Bosch Jetronic fuel injection, which is absolutely bulletproof. You know, it does need to be properly tuned, and the fellow who put this engine together was that guy. This thing runs, you know, for want of a better term, like a Swiss watch. Absolutely smooth, absolutely perfect. Lovely power curve. Really feels nice going down the road. Now, I said there was a little bit of a story of the engine. When it was rebuilt a few years ago, they're lowering it into the car and dropped the damn thing on this fender. So made everybody very happy. I'm sure there was pizza and cake to go around for everybody. Lots of good cheer. No, in fact, I'm sure there was misery and terror. But they did end up having a new fender put on professionally, beautifully. And looks very, very nice on the car. No issues with that at all. And it's been on there for many, many years and done just fine. So again, it has had paint work. The car has been painted, and it is a much older job. And you can see if you get close, there's some of that Mojave Desert cracking in places, you know, where the paint doesn't have the quality of today's, the way it can flex with the temperature. So instead of flexing, it just kind of cracks, and that's what you get. You got a little bit of it down here, a little bit of it here and there. But all said, when you step back from 5 feet, the thing looks fantastic. There's no rust anywhere on the body, and it makes a terrific driver, or an incredible candidate for restoration. So if your plan is to take one of these and make it, you know, $150,000 version, like the day it came new from the factory, this is a pretty damn good place to start. All right, let's have a look inside. The single key was also a feature of these 280, so it has ignition and door tumbler all on the same key. I'm going to go in on this VIN plate for a minute and hold it there, so anybody interested can pause and see. It is made in 11 of 69, which makes it a 69 model in Europe or Germany, and a 1970 model as per the title here in the United States. You can see here in the back, all this stuff's always hard one-handed. The carpet is fantastic, original, perfect, lovely to look at. Unfortunately, someone jammed some 6x9s in there, which sound great, but you don't want to see that. Either way, when you know, the car comes to get restored, you can replace those, or, you know, obviously remove them. You know, at the moment for driving, if you want to play, you know, Fat Bottom Girls by Queen or some other song with some bass in it, you're going to be happy to have that instead of the crappy original speakers. Underneath this aluminum soft top cover is, of course, the soft top, which is a nice system. So you've got a very quick to throw up or throw down soft top, and a more substantial hard top, which can be used in the winter, or, you know, just when you don't feel like having a less substantial roof over your head. So what I'm going to do is pause for 1 minute. I'm going to get the soft top up and in place. You can have a look at that, and then we'll get it back down and go for a spin. Okay, here it is with the soft top up and in place. You can see it's very neatly and properly fitting. You know, it's an older soft top. Been on the car for a while. It's got a few little frayed bits here and there. No holes of any kind. Very clear back window. Very, very serviceable top. Perfect for a driver. Also, you know, befitting the car's condition as, you know, a very solid restorable driving car. So nice color, darker blue to offset the lighter blue beneath. Looks terrific, seals perfectly. All the seals and weather strip are good. The headliner underneath, very, very good. Frame, fantastic, no corrosion on that. You know, absolutely perfect for restoration, or to let it be what it is, as a terrific kind of driving collectible. So let's get that back down, get the open air going again, and we'll take it from there. All right, so to release the soft top, I thought that's something I should show you. We got these two great little tools there with the original leather pouch they came in. You take each one of these, you stick it in this fantastic, very vintage style German lockdown mechanism. Push that guy up in the front, you're good to go. In the back, we release the top with this handle here. That should let it lift up. I've done a poor job of that. There we go. That brings the top up to that position, releases this great little aluminum cover. Make sure you get far enough to open it. You can see everything nice under there. The original coating still there. All the springs, all the mechanisms, even a sticker, all still present and accounted for. At this stage, we can lower. So the phone rings right in the middle of the soft top demonstration. Wonderful. Anyway, you can see it's in the ready to go down position with this back folded up. So very gently, and this is hard to do one-handed, fold it back to here. Let it fall into position. We're going to tuck this guy in behind the top cover. Get those little flaps down. Come around to the other side, give it the same treatment. Very, very nice. And push down on the top cover. And there it is. So the soft top now neatly stowed away. Give me a second to get organized and we'll keep going. Okay, soft top back down, very, very nice. Very quickly, you can see the one-piece wheel covers. That was new to the Pagoda. Very nice condition, body color match, lovely. Do believe this is the original paint coat on the car. Windshield in exceptional shape with no pitting or cracking. No issues there at all. Love the suicide wipers. You know, I'm not sure it was the best design ever in terms of quality of function, but in terms of the way it looks, it's fantastic. The visor is all original, nice. You see it's probably had replacement clips there, not uncommon. The dashboard, pretty damn good shape overall. Few little hairline cracks here and there. The wood is fantastic. Very, very nice. You know, again, not up to Concours quality, but that can be part of the restoration. Door panel, nice and tight, lovely chrome everywhere. Such a fantastic classic Mercedes design. You know, it's not particularly luxurious in the sense of materials and, you know, soft touches and stitched leather, but what it is an incredible build quality. I mean, when you close the door, it's a bank vault. You know, still to this day, this many years later, all the adjustments are these big, chunky, German-style, you know, things which would have been just fine on a Tiger tank or something. You know, this big clicker here to move the seat forward. You know, the use of hardware in this car is just fantastic. All right, let's hop in. So one thing that's a little mystery to me is that red light that always comes on when you open the door. I mean, you know the door's open. You don't really need a warning for that. But they all have it, and I've never quite figured it out. Get our key in the ignition. Funny, Mercedes used this key all the way through probably 1995 in the E-Class. So when they make a design, they really stick with it. You know, they build something fantastically well, and then they just use it for years and years. Here you can see the chrome on the dash is lovely. The paint is lovely. All the gauges work really, really nice, very well, nice and clear. You see the odometer showing 27,000 miles. He believes it's 127, and, you know, that of course makes sense, but who knows on these older cars. All of these sliders, they work. Hate to use them because they're terrifying. The illumination behind them works. The Becker radio, the Becker Europa is absolutely like new, beautiful to look at. Video clock, clear, perfect, lovely chrome and darker blue trim. Over at the glove box, the little light works on the outside. That functions as your exterior light. And look at that, we got a set of leather driving gloves inside with this very clever glove box illuminating light there. It's the kind of German engineering that was just really neat at the time. So that light serves two purposes, one on the outside and one on the in. Here's your e-brake down here. Very nice to see that this has the 4-speed manual shifter. It's absolute butter to drive, and man does it make it fun on a country road. Here's the original wooden center console box with ashtray. Lovely. Has the original top tools, as you just saw in use, and, you know, stowed nicely in there. And you just feel like $1 million in this car. It's just lovely in every way. And people wave at you and dogs cheer. That's a pretty one. So it's just really nice to get the compliments that you get in this car. Everybody universally loves a Pagoda. And, you know, guys, if you want a classic car, this is one where you're probably not going to get a lot of flack from the wife. She's going to be very happy to be seen in this. All right, there you see that big 6 fires right to life. Very, very nice. Gauges all working properly. You can see they're in the US standard. And away we go. A little bit of e-brake action. And this gets us into what is the most fantastic thing about a Pagoda, and that is its drivability. I mean, it goes down the road so nicely, so sporty. You know, I could almost compare it to a Mazda Miata. I know that's a little bit of crime against humanity to do so, but you know, Miatas just have this reputation for perfect, lovely driving, and Pagodas, when they're in great shape like this one, they feel exactly the same way. Everything just fits neatly into place. All right, so we got traffic jams this morning with Escalades and GLSs, and then a minivan thrown in, and Bentley's behind. Hate to see people going hungry. Anyway, the thing drives so nice. The shifting is perfect. The suspension is incredibly poised. The steering is nice and precise. You just kind of want to fling it around a mountain road, and that was a big part of its success. They sold a bunch of these models in the United States. Now, they're far rarer than the, you know, 107 bodies that followed it, but they still had pretty great success. I think about 20,000 of them made their way to the US, and of course far fewer 280s, which are the ones to have. But either way, the people loved them, no matter what side of the ocean they were on, and they continue to be highly sought after today. So look, here it is. This is a 1970 Mercedes-Benz 280 SL Pagoda, soft top, hard top, incredible mechanical condition, very good cosmetic condition, super solid car if you're looking for a driver, and a very great foundation if you're looking for a restoration project. So if you have an interest, give us a call. This one isn't going to be around for long, I promise you. 239-649-7300, on the web at mercedesexpert.com. Thanks so much for having a look. We really appreciate it. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of driving, and then we'll see you with the next one. Take care. If I ever get the green light, that is.